This is the auto-dub version of the tutorial, Basics of FreeCAD Assembly 4 Workbench. This was created by FreeCAD 0.21, but the operation of Assembly 4 is basically the same in the latest version. Please select your preferred language for audio and subtitle. Part 1, LCS for 3D objects. Start the software FreeCAD. Go to Tools and select Add-on Manager. Locate Assembly 4 Workbench. Double-click it and select To install. Install Fastener Workbench as you need to insert screws and nuts in the assembly. Double-click and select Install to install the workbench. Close the Add-on Manager and restart FreeCAD. Assembly 4 can be used for assembling parts and animation, but the approach is a little bit different. Create a new file. Switch to Part Workbench. Create a part. Create a cube. It is 10 by 10 by 10 and it is good. As we create part in the Part Workbench, there is no default LCS, local coordinate system. Switch to Assembly 4. Create a new part. Because we create the part in Assembly 4, there is a default LCS. Go back to Part Workbench. Create a tube and the size doesn't really matter. And then move it away from the cube. The default LCS is at the bottom of the tube, which is same position as the origin. And there is no default LCS at the cube. The most common method for creating LCS is using Concentric Z-tangent to edge and Inertial LCS. And we try the concentric first. If there is a circle or circular arc, we can use concentric to create the LCS. Switch to Assembly 4. Select the part first and then create LCS. We can select either the inside circle or the outside circle. Select the inner circle and then select Concentric. The vertical axis is Z-axis. After we create the LCS, we can move it in X, Y, or Z direction. If we select Revolution, the vertical axis will be the Y-axis. If we select Inertial CS, and the LCS is still at the center of the circle. So, basically, they are the same, even the orientation of the axis may be different. Also, we can rotate the LCS around X, Y, or Z axis. Finish this LCS first. Another common one is using Inertial LCS, which is the center of the body. Select the part and create new LCS. Select the circle at both ends. And then select Inertial LCS. Change the transparency to 80 and we can see the LCS at the center. Change the transparency back to 0. Then select the part and new LCS icon. We can use the round surface to generate the LCS at the center. Select the round surface and then Inertial LCS. Change the transparency to 80. Hide the first LCS at the center and you can see the second one. There is no default LCS for the cube. We can create LCS at the edge, at the corner, on the surface, or at the center of the cube. Select the part. Create new LCS. Select an edge and Z tangent to edge. It is at the left-hand side, and I can move it to the right by selecting the vertex. Make sure the second line in the attachment panel is in selecting mode. Create another one at the edge. Select the part. New LCS. Select an edge. Select Z tangent to edge. Click OK. Select Edge 1. And go to Map Path Parameter. Change it to 1 and the LCS will move to the other end. Enter 0.5 and the LCS will be at the middle. Type 0.25 and it will be at 1/4 of the length from the corner. The Map Path parameter can be used to control the position of the LCS. If we use an edge and a vertex to create LCS, and Map Path parameter will not exist. Select the edge. There is no Map Path parameter here. Create another one at the center of the surface. Select the part. New LCS. Select the surface and click Inertial LCS. So, it is at the center of the surface. Or use the edge to create the LCS at the center. Select the part. New LCS. Select an edge and also the edge at the other side. Make sure the second line in the attachment panel is in selecting mode. And select Inertial LCS. The final one is at the center of the body. Select the part and New LCS. Select two opposite faces. And then click Inertial LCS. Change the transparency to 90. And we can see the LCS at the center. If you find this video interesting, please subscribe and give it a like. Thank you for watching.